Hello guys. Today we are going to talk about what it's like to have cats and living the van life or living in an RV, or if you have cats and thinking about living in a van or an RV. Some tips, tricks, and things I've learned about having cats and living the van life. So let's go. All right, number one for today that we're going to talk about van life and cats is space. Vans are not that big, but you can do things where they can get their exercise. I do have an Outback Jack kitty compound. You'll see it right here. It works great for them to go out. If I'm parked somewhere or at a campground or boondocking, I can put this up and put them out, and they get exercise that way. And they get sunlight. They love it. I've had it now for 2 years, and that is one of their favorite things. But now also, my van is a step van. It is rather large. I have a cat tree in here that was in my apartment before I moved into my van. I took it and had it mounted in here. So they have that, and you'll see it right here. I try to keep them busy as much as possible, but cats love to sleep. I swear, I think these guys sleep 9-10 hours a day. They do like to exercise, and there is a lot of room for them to run in my van. Also, you can use a cat leash and a harness for a cat and walk them that way and take them outside. All I'm saying is space is important for these guys. Cats like to have their own space. I'm fortunate to have a big enough van that accommodates these guys. If I was in a regular size van, I couldn't have this many cats, but one or two probably, yeah. The litter box. It is very important. You need a litter box that's adequate for how many cats you have. I use pretty good litter. I buy the Tidy Cat in the big yellow buckets. I buy for multiple cats, the 4-in-1. I scoop my cat box 3 times a day, sometimes mostly just twice. And the cat box I have is quite large. I'll show you right here. It's kind of like, it's huge, because my one cat laying right here beside me, sleeping, Jacob, he's a very large cat. And so I bought a large litter box. Good litter, I'm going to tell you now, it saves you money using the good litter compared to the cheap litter. There is some litters, like, say, $10 for, I don't know, I've gotten 40 pounds before for $10-15, and I go through it so fast, it's like just sand. Now, a lot of people use the pellets. I've not tried that yet. I'm thinking about it, but the pellet litter, it's just like pellets you can put in a wood stove, I guess, or little wood pellets. But look it up. But I've never used it. I just stick with Tidy Cat in the big yellow 40-pound pails. Each pail costs usually around $20 to $21, depending on where I get it. And another thing to consider, storage. You know, how much can you store? Are you going to be away from town? Are you parking off grid for a long time? Make sure you have plenty stored and you have a place to store it. All right, on to number 3, cat food. Cat food, I buy about a mediocre cat food. I buy Rachel Ray's or Purina One. I can't afford like Blue. I've given them Blue before. I used to buy Blue. It's just kind of spendy, and I find there was a little too much protein for them in it. I use Rachel Ray cat food or Purina One, like I was saying, and I put a certain amount in there in the morning, and they can snack on it or eat it during the day, but usually by the next morning they're out. I used to just keep it full, and he has been on a diet, so I just put a certain amount in there in the day, and then when that's done, they don't get any till the next day. But also now, I will tell you this, if you use really cheap cat food, they use the bathroom a lot more. The cat box gets more, fuller faster. It's just not as good for them. Also, cats, they live on protein. Protein is their main thing. I notice they drink plenty of water when I have them on a good food. Also, I give them 1 can of food. I split 1 small can of food for them as a treat every other day or so. And so, yeah, but always, I notice when they eat pretty good food, and like I say, the Rachel Ray and the Purina One is about a mediocre food for them. I feel it is when you look at the ingredients. They drink plenty of water with it. Now, when I have fed them cheap cat food, they don't drink enough water. It's very important for cats to drink water. They can have a lot of urinary tract issues. And so water is a big thing. Make sure they get plenty of water. I think this next thing is so important. Temperature. You always have to be mindful of what the temperature is in your van. If you're a person that works, if you go out of your van to work, I mean, if you're not working from your van, if you're going to be gone, you know, a long time during the day, you gotta make sure it's not too hot and that they have fresh air. That is one of the most horrible ways for an animal to go. I've heard about it so many times. People leaving their dogs or their animals in cars when it's really hot. But you got to be very mindful of that. For me, I don't work, but I'm very mindful of when I'm traveling. If it is in the summertime, I try to make sure I'm plugged in during the part of the day that it's hot. I also have a generator that I can run a portable air conditioner with. So yeah, that is one of the most important things. Cold, not as crazy bad as hot. I keep my temperature in here where it's comfortable for me because, one, I don't work and I'm at my van a lot. So I'm comfortable, but I'm so mindful that even when I grocery shop, if it's dead summer, I will not go in the heat of the day and park to go inside the store to get groceries. I will go either early in the morning or late in the evening. So I'm very mindful of temperature with these guys. And so that is the number one thing to keep in mind of that. Good airflow is good for them. But yeah, I keep the temperature, like I said, good for me. So, but I can't stress this enough. Don't leave your animals in your van or RV or car when it's hot. Okay, a couple of tips and tricks that I've learned. When I first moved into the van, they didn't like it when the van was rolling, when I was driving. They didn't like it that much. I looked up cat calming music, and I got to where I would play that when I was driving. It works like wonders with them. I'll put that on my Bluetooth speaker and let it play while I'm driving, and they love it. I don't use it now as much because now they're comfortable. A couple of them get on the cat tree, the others get on the bed or on the fridge right there, and they just ride along with no problem now. But at first, they wasn't too happy about that. I still have one that likes to just go into the closet here, and she'll lay down and go to sleep. She don't really want nothing to do with looking out the window or anything when I'm driving. Also, give them a spot to like lay in the sun. Like right before I'm talking here, you'll see Jacob sitting up front. He has a cat bed on the doghouse part there. And he'll lay in the sun. Also, I make it where if it's really hot, I keep the sun out. Except early in the morning, I'll let the sun in, and they can lay in the sun and sunbathe. I want to get one of these little, they're like little suction cups, a bed that you can like suction cup to the window, and they can lay on that when it's sunny. I'm thinking about getting one of those. And but again, the cat tree has been one of the best parts of the van for them. They're just comfortable with it. They really like it. Like I said, a couple of them ride on that when I'm driving, and they can look out the screen. I have a screen between the front and the living part, the driving and the living area. There's a screen and a screen door, and they'll sit up there and look at where I'm going down the road. Cat calming music works really good. I have heard pheromones work really good, but I don't know where to get those for cats. Now, I know they work good about calming a cat down, because when I had my cat Jacob at the vet, he was very upset. They had put a towel around him with pheromones on it, calmed him right down. It was amazing. I couldn't believe that worked that well. But anyway, that is a couple of tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. Another thing is pay a lot of attention to them when you're not driving or when you're in the van. Play with them a lot. I have a red light. I'll get them running back and forth, a little laser light. That helps a lot. I have toys for them. Shoot, I can throw a box in here and they're happy for a day. I'll grab a box and put it like on top of the fridge right here, and they'll play in that thing all day long. They absolutely love it. They have always loved boxes. All cats love boxes, I think. But anyway, guys, all right. I hope all this stuff helps. If you're thinking about van life and you have a cat, or you have a van and you're thinking about a cat, I hope this works. So just be mindful of the temperature. That is the number one thing of this whole video. Be careful if you're traveling with a cat. Don't let them out if they run. You know, a lot of people I see in van life that have cats, they don't take off running when you open the door. Now, I have one that will, so I'm very careful if I'm not where I'm parked at plugged in. I'm very careful. I shut them back here in the back when I'm going in and out. And so, yeah. All right, guys. I hope all this helps. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace out.